Hi everybody, welcome to another Yarn Scrap Friday and our second episode of our crochet along, and we are making a road playmat for little ones to enjoy. And it started last week if you're new to this crochet along, and last week I showed you how to make the long grass square because this road playmat is going to be made up of squares, and also the straight road piece as well. So you should have 4 straight road pieces now made from last week and 3 long grass squares as well. And if you struggled with the loop stitch, don't worry, you can just do 15 rows of just normal half double crochet, 18 stitches across if you prefer. But this week, moving on now, what are we going to be making this week? Well, this week we are going to be making a pond piece, half of our pond, including a little fun tree if you want to make that as well. And we're going to be making, we need to make 4 of these squares, and each one is going to join up to make almost like a figure of 8 lake pond for our road playmat. So for this week we're going to be needing some blue yarn. This is our DK light worsted weight yarn. For the whole crochet along we are using DK light worsted weight yarn, and we are working to a 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter square, or 4 inches by 4 inches, but you can use aran or worsted weight yarn if you prefer. You'll just end up making bigger squares, but as long as you've got square shapes at the ends so we can join them all together and all the same size, and I wouldn't worry too much. But we're going to be using some blue DK light worsted weight yarn and some green, again, DK light worsted weight yarn, and also we're going to be needing a little bit of brown DK light worsted weight yarn as well for the trunk of our tree. And we're using the same hook size that we've been using for the last video, a 3.5mm E4 crochet hook. And you're also going to be needing a pair of scissors, a yarn needle for sewing in those ends, and also a little bit of some yarn scraps just for the top of the tree. Hopefully already you've got a few little yarn scraps left over for making these pieces. That'll be more than enough for our little tree. But if you want to, you can of course just use toy stuffing or polyester filling from pillows if you want to. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so what we're going to be doing here, you can see on my notes here, is we are working to this sort of pattern shape, this grid pattern, which will help you. I'll actually design this up so it looks a bit better than my scribbly notes, and put this on my blog, because as well as these videos there are written versions to go along with all these squares, and the links are all in the description down below. I may even be able to put it over the top of the video as well to this, but there'll also be a grid picture that you can follow, which should make it a bit easier. But what we're going to do is start off with our green, and we are going to begin with our 18 half double crochet foundation stitches, so exactly the same as the beginning of our straight road piece and the beginning of our grass piece as well. So hopefully if you've been following along you're quite used to doing the half double crochet foundation stitch already, but if you're new to it I will show you again here. So the first thing to do is chain 2 with your green yarn. I'm going to chain 2, 1 and 2, chain 2, and then what we are going to do is we yarn over and we're going to put our hook into our first chain. Always pull that down just so you can see your first chain clearly. Put our hook into that first chain and bring the yarn through. So we've got our 3 loops. Now normally when we do a half double crochet, this is in US terminology, we just yarn over, pull through all 3. But when doing the foundation half double crochet, what we do is we yarn over and we pull through the first loop only first, and then that creates a little foundation chain stitch on the left hand side, which is like an upside down V. And then we yarn over and pull through all 3, doing our normal half double crochet. The same applies for single crochet foundation stitch and double crochet foundation stitch. You just do your normal stitch after that. And then what we do for the next stitch is we yarn over and then we go into this upside down V that we created on the left hand side. So we put our hook into there, just making sure to go under the 2 bits of the stitch. Bring your yarn through there and up. We've got our 3 loops again, and we need to create our next foundation chain. So we yarn over, pull through the first loop only again, and as you can see there, we've got another upside down V. Okay, there was our first one there, and now there is our second one. And then we do our half double crochet as normal. We did 18 of these. So the next one, you want to make sure that there is your stitch on the right hand side. Then you'll have 2 bits of yarn in the middle. You don't want to crochet into those. You want to make sure you get this upside down V. So then we go into our next upside down V that we've just created, going under the 2 bits of yarn. Bring the yarn through that upside down V. We do the same thing again. We create our foundation chain by pulling for the first loop only. You can see we've created another upside down V. Then we yarn over, pull through all 3 for our stitch. Okay, so there's your 3 foundation chains, 1, 2, 3, and there's your 3 proper stitches, 1, 2, 3 on the right hand side. So we do the next one, find the next upside down V, like so, bring the yarn through, create the next foundation chain by pulling for the first loop only, yarn over, pull through all 3 for your half double crochet, and there's our 4th one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that 4th one is the next one we work into. We need 18 of these. We don't count the first couple of chains as a foundation stitch, I just ignore those. Keeps things simple. Okay, it's just coming up to the last one. 18. It's going into that left hand foundation stitch, and still do your foundation chain by pulling for the first loop only, then pull through all 3 for your half double crochet. And there we go, we have 18 half double crochet foundation stitches. What we're going to do now is move on to the next row, and we need to bring in our little grid, which I can put here and see. So we've just done this plain row in green here. Now we're going to move on to this second row here, and there's a little cross there because I don't want that to be a blue one. These ones that are coloured in, these little squares that are coloured in, mean the blue shape of the pond. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to imagine I've gone in this direction, and then I'm going to start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because that's an X crossed out, 6 in green. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're not going to count the chain 1 as a stitch. We now want to work into these stitches on the right hand side, so you want to turn, flip your work over basically, and we're going to do a half double crochet in that very first stitch. Okay, we want to do it in the next 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because that's supposed to be green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But on the last one, on the 6th one, we want to join the blue in the end of the stitch, very similar to what we did when we were working with the white on the straight road piece. So we yarn over and go into the sixth stitch along, bring the yarn through, but instead of yarning over with the green to pull through all 3, we're going to yarn over with our blue. So let's find our blue, and I'm just going to put that over the hook, hold it with my finger on the back, yarn over with that and pull that through all 3 to finish the stitch. So, and in the written pattern I call that end of stitch, so join B blue in the end of stitch. Okay, and then I'm going to hold tail ends with the other finger, pull the green just to tighten, and now we're working with our blue. So how many blue do we need to do? So that's not a blue, that's a green. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need to do 6 in blue. So yarn over, go into the next stitch. Now one thing I'm not going to do, where I did with the straight row pieces, I'm not going to carry the yarn over. And the reason for that is I'm just going to do it very, very slightly different, which I'll show you as I go along. Because when I carried it over, it really showed through, the green really showed through, and it kind of ruined the ponds. So kind of did a similar way, but you'll see. So we need to do it in the next 6. So we're not carrying anything over, we're just working with the blue as normal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then our last one, which is our 6th one, we're going to rejoin the green. So yarn over, go into the stitch as normal, bring the blue through, but instead of yarning over with the blue, we are literally just going to pick up our green. And I know that creates a big loop on the back, but just bear with me. What you want to do is just pull that through all 3. But be careful, you can see that's been pulled. You just want to just make sure that's kept flat, okay, so it doesn't curl up like that. So just when you finished your stitch, just pull it straight. And I know there's a big line there, but we're going to hide that on the next row. You'll see what I'm up to. And then that should leave us with how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again. So in the last 6 we are going to do green half double crochets. So 1 green half double crochet in the last 6. We're not carrying over the blue, we just leave the blue there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one, 6. So there we go, that's the end of our second row, and the beginning of our pond is beginning to appear. So now you need to make sure, you might want to, if you want to draw this up, print it out, whatever, from the blog, you might want to, as you go along, just do that so you remember which direction you're going in, because we went like this. So now we're working on this third row, and we've got 4 in green, so these clear ones mean green. So we're going to chain 1, don't count that as a stitch, turn, go straight into that very first stitch, and do a half double crochet, small yarn. Should have worked from the middle of that ball, never mind. 1, 2, we need 4, so 3, and then in the 4th one, which is our last one, we yarn over, go into the stitch, bring the yarn through, but instead of yarning over with the green, we're going to bring back our blue. So we're just going to yarn over with the blue straight from there and pull through all 3, and again make sure it's flat and not pulled. And yes, you can see we've got some rather crazy lines of stitches happening here, but this I've tried and it seems to work better, so for hiding. But now we're working with our blue, so let's find out how many blue we need to do first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've got 9 to do in blue on this third row. So now we're working with the blue. Just pull my green down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to yarn over with the blue. So I'm just going to pop my hook underneath that blue bit that's just been left sticking out. And then I'm going to go into the next stitch. Okay, so I can see my next stitch is there, just underneath that blue. I'm going to pop my hook underneath that yarn that's sticking out, then put it through the stitch and do my half double crochet. And you can see that's tucked in to the stitch. And for some reason this works better than carrying the yarn over. So we need to do it in the next one again. Hide the blue, go under the blue and into the next stitch to do your half double crochet. We need to do it in the next 9. Now our blue's done, our blue there is now joined up to the rest of the blue, but we need to do it with the green now, hide this green. So I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to tuck it under the green, then move it over to find my next stitch. There we go. Do a half double crochet. There we go. And this will disappear, you'll be amazed. 3 under the green to hide it, into the next stitch. 4, get that tail end up. That one we will have to sew in. 4, and next one, under the green, into the next stitch. 5, so I'm just going into the stitch as normal, but I'm just tucking my hook under the green yarn that's been left out. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we need 9. 7, and then this is probably the last time to tuck under the green. 8, there we go, and you can see that the green has disappeared a lot better than if it had been carried over. I mean, you may want to just carry it over if you prefer, see how you go, but I actually found this hid the colour a lot better for reasons I don't know, but it just hid the green a lot better, no matter how hard I tried when carrying it over. So it's been tried and tested. Okay, so we need 9 of these, don't we? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the last one, 9. Go into the next stitch, bring the yarn through, but instead of yarning over with the blue, we're going to yarn over with the green, and the green, I know, comes all the way over from this side. Yarn over, pull through all 3, and then remember to flatten your project so it's not curling up like that. Okay, and I know you've got this big line here, but we're going to hide that on the next row. So then we finish up with, how many do we finish up with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you should have 5 stitches left. And we're going to finish that with green. 1 half double crochet in green in the last 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's the end of row 3. So then we probably want to make sure that we do a little arrow so we know which one we're working on next. And we can see here we got 4 plain ones, 4 clear boxes, that's 4 in green. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, do a half double crochet in that first stitch. So that's 1, the next stitch 2, then half double crochet in the next stitch 3, and then the 4th one we want to join the blue, so we yarn over, go into the next stitch, bring the yarn through. Instead of yarning over with the green, we're going to yarn over with our blue. Pull through all 3. So you've done 1 half double crochet in the first 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just pull that green rather, down a bit. And now we're going to start hiding the end of that blue tail and this green tail as well. But let's find out how many blue we need first. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We need 12, but we're just going to do it up to the last 2, so we can just crochet without bothering to count up to the last 2 stitches. So we're going to yarn over, remember to go underneath the blue, then into that next stitch as normal. We're going to hide that blue, like so. Then we're going to move on to the green. So you can leave the blue because that blue yarn is next to the blue part of the pond. But we're going to put our hook under this green now and find where that first blue stitch is. Under the green, which is quite hard to do on camera. Just hold it with my nail. Go into that next stitch. And do a half double crochet as normal. So you want to do 1 half double crochet to the last 2 stitches in blue. So that's 12. 1, 2, under the green, 3. The green's actually popped up on top now, which makes it easier. 4, 5, still going under that green, 6, 7, still going under that green, 8, still going under that green to the next stitch, 9, still going under that green for the last one, small yarn, so 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, and the last one, 12. As you can see, you've got 2 stitches left, so you've done it in blue, 1/2 double crochet each stitch along to the last 2. So in that 12th one, yarn over, bring the yarn through, but instead of yarning over with the blue, we're going to yarn over with the green to finish. And don't worry about it curling up at first, just bring it through those 3 stitches and then pull your project out to flatten. Okay, then we're going to finish up with 1/2 double crochet in green in the last 2. 1 and 2. That's our next row complete. And we can see we've hid our tail ends, but we've got one this side which we're going to hide on the next row. Okay, so then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction. We've got 1 to do in green. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we'll need to join the blue straight away because we've only got that 1 green stitch. So we're going to yarn over, go into that very first stitch and bring the yarn through, but instead of yarning over with the green, we're going to get our blue, which is down here, and yarn over with our blue. Pull through all 3 with our blue rather. Okay, let's pull that green down. And now we're working with our blue. And we need to do 1/2 double crochet in blue to the last 1, 2, 3. So just crochet 1/2 double crochet in blue to the last 3 this time. And what we're going to do is we're going to hide those stitches, that excess yarn as well. So make sure to go under the blue before you go into that next stitch as normal. Okay, we've done the blue now. Now we need to hide the green tail end yarn. So we go under that green. Just hold it with your finger if you want to when you go into the next stitch. Do a 1/2 double crochet under the green into the next stitch. Under the green and into the next stitch. So we're doing 1/2 double crochet in blue in each stitch along to the last 3. Okay, so that's just coming onto the last bit of green, so the next stitch, and then we don't need to hide any more tail ends. We need to go to the last 3, so 1, 2, 3. So we've got 1 more stitch to do, yarn over into that last stitch in the blue, bring the yarn through, but instead of yarning over with the blue, I'm going to grab our green from all the way over here and just bring that through the stitch, and then make sure to flatten your work so it's not concertinaed up. And then we're going to finish up with 1/2 double crochet in the green in the last 3. One, 2, 3. And there we go, there is our next row. Okay, and you might want to just make a note of where you've got to. So now we can see what to do on the next row. Okay, so we're moving on to the next row. You can see I just bring this up, you can see that we've starting here on this row, they're all the same. So for the next 5 rows they're identical. So for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, that's writing on camera, looks a bit strange. The next 5 rows are all going to be exactly the same. Okay, so let's move on to the next row. And what we're going to do is we can see we need to do 1, 2, 3 in green. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, go straight into that first stitch and do a half double crochet in green. We need to do 3, so that's 1, 2, and then in the third one we need to join our blue. So we pull the yarn through, instead of yarning over with the green, it's always when we yarn over and pull through the last 3 we join the colour. Make sure we get that the right way around. Yarn over, pull through all 3. That finishes our 3 in green, and we are literally going to be doing 1 half double crochet in blue all the way to the end, so there's no green this end, so we're going all the way to the end in blue. So 1 half double crochet in each stitch across all the way to the end in blue, not forgetting to go under that green yarn into the next stitch to hide it. Our tail ends. Okay. Okay, so just going up to the last few stitches, still going onto that green to hide it. 1 onto that green, next stitch, and then into that last stitch. Don't need to go onto the green, it's disappeared now. To that last stitch, we've done 1 half double crochet each stitch across in the blue to the very last stitch, and we need to just do that for the next 4 rows. We're going to start off with blue now because we're this end. So blue all the way across, 1 half double crochet in each stitch across in blue to the last 3 where we change back to green. Okay, so we chain 1 and turn, 1 half double crochet in that first stitch and 1 half double crochet in each stitch across to the last 3. Okay. You don't have to hide any tail ends this time because our green's been left over there because we didn't join it over here, so that's handy as well. It's a bit easier in the middle. Okay, so I'm just going up to the last 3. So 1, 2, 3, there's our last 3 in green. So in this last stitch I need to do in blue, we need to join the green. So we yarn over, go into the last stitch for blue, bring the yarn through, and then to finish a stitch we yarn over with the green instead. Bring that through. Always remember to join your new colour in the end of the last stitch when you need to change. And then we're going to finish up with 1 half double crochet in green in the last 3. So 1, 2 and 3. So there we go, and now we're at this end. So we're on this row now. So we need to start off with 1 half double crochet in the next 3, if you can see that. 1 half double crochet in the next 3 on this 3rd row in green. Chain 1 and turn. 1 half double crochet in the next 3 in green. So 1, 2, and then the last one we need to join the blue, so yarn over to the next stitch, bring the yarn through. Instead of yarning over with the green, we're going to yarn over with the blue, like so. Just pull my green to bring it down, and then we can see on here we need to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch along in blue all the way to the other end, so we don't need to join green at the end. We don't need to hide any tail ends either. Just work into the stitches as normal. Okay, so 1 half double crochet in each stitch along in blue all the way to the end. It's coming up to the last couple of stitches. Still working with the blue. Still doing half double crochets. And there we go, that's the end of that row. So now we are here and we're on this fourth one. So we need to start off with blue and do 1 half double crochet in each stitch across in blue to the last 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to chain 1 and turn, 1 half double crochet in that very first stitch, and 1 half double crochet in blue in each stitch across to the last 3. Okay, so I'm just going up to the last 3 again. And in the last blue one I need to join the green. So you hook in, bring the yarn through. Instead of yarning over with the blue, we're going to yarn over with the green. Let's pull our blue down, and then 1 half double crochet in green in the last 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So there we go, we finished that row, which is this row here. So now we're going up to row 5 here. And this is the last row that's the same. So we do 1 half double crochet in green in the first 3. So we chain 1 and turn. Do 1 half double crochet in that first stitch. 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. Then in the third stitch we need to join the blue. So hook in, yarn through. Instead of yarning over with the green, we're going to yarn over with the blue to pull through all 3. Let's pull that green tail down. And now working with the blue, and we need to do here, we can see we just do 1 half double crochet in blue all the way to the end. Okay, so just go into the next stitch as normal. 1 half double crochet in blue in each stitch across all the way to the end. Okay, so I'm just coming up to the last couple of stitches. All the way to the end in blue. And there we go, that's the end of that row. So you can see it's starting to take shape. So we are now reached the end of this 5th row where it's the same, and we're moving on to this row. We can see we've got 2 in green here. So just put that down. What we're going to do is join the green in our chain 1 as we turn, and our green is all the way over this side, so we're going to have to, you can fasten off and rejoin if you want to, but I actually find this easier. So not worrying about it pulling up, we're just going to pull that through to do our chain 1, pull the blue down to tighten, and then remember to flatten, keeping your hook in there because that can come out. Make sure that is flat so you're not pulling anything. And then we are going to turn, okay? And we need to do 2 in green. So we're going to yarn over, go into the first stitch, and making sure to go under the green as well, do a half double crochet. Okay, let's pull that blue a bit. And we need to do 1 in the next stitch as well. So we yarn over, go into the next stitch, go under the green, bring the yarn through, but now we need to join our blue, because we need 2 of those. So instead of yarning over with the green, we're going to get our blue, which is all the way over here, and pull through all 3 with the blue. Now we're working with the blue again. Okay, so what we need to do now is count how many to do in the blue. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you want 12 in blue, so up to the last 4 stitches basically. 12 in blue. So yarn over, get the green out of the way, go into the next stitch, making sure to go under the green because we want to hide that yarn. We need to do 12. So 1, going under the green, make sure that green's hidden. 2, 3, I've got a fluffy bit, no. 4, next stitch, 5, always make sure to go hide that green yarn. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and our next one's going to be 12. So, which brings us up to our last 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this last stitch we need to join the green. So we yarn over. Remember to go onto that green bit of yarn to the next stitch. Bring the yarn through. Instead of yarning over with the blue, we're going to yarn over with our green, which is all the way over the other side. Pull through all 3, and then pull your work flat so it's not concertinaed. Then we're going to finish up with 1 half double crochet in the last 4. So still going under that green because we can still see it. 1, then just normal, 2, 3, and the last one 4. Okay, which brings us to the end of that row. Okay, so we are now here, we got to these last 4 and we're going to go on to this row. So we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in green first. 5 in green. So chain 1 and turn and go into the first stitch and do a half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th one we need to join the blue. So yarn over, we need to go onto that green, don't we? And go into the next stitch, bring the yarn through. Instead of yarning over with the green, we're going to yarn over with the blue, which is just down there. And then we need to do, bring up the pattern again, we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in blue. So up to the last 4 basically, 9 in blue. Making sure to go under the green as well to hide it. Do 1 half double crochet in blue in the next 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and in the last 9 one, which leaves us 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Still go under the green, bring the yarn through, instead of yarning over with the blue, we're going to get our green all the way from over here, pull for all 3 in green. And then remember to pull your project flat so it doesn't curl up like that, because we've got these big tail ends. Then we finish up with this end, isn't it? 1 half double crochet in the last 4 in green. Still going under that green as well to hide it. 1, 2, and then just as normal, 3, and the last one 4. There we go, and then it's the end of that row. And now we are here. So we're going on to this row here. So now we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in green. Okay, 7 in green. So chain 1 and turn. Go into the first stitch. Do 1 half double crochet in the next 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, then we need to go onto that green, 4, 5, 6, and then the 7th one we need to join the blue, so we go into the next stitch, bring the yarn through, so the yarning over with the green, bring up the blue from down there, pull that down, and now we need to work in the blue. We need to do 4 in blue, just 4. So remembering to go under the green still. It actually rides up to the top, which makes it easier anyway. Do 1, 2, 3, and in the fourth one we need to rejoin the green. So go onto that green yarn to hide. To the next stitch, bring the yarn through. Instead of yarning over with the blue, we're going to bring up the green and yarn over with the green. Pull that blue down. Still make sure that it's flat as well. Then we finish up with 1 half double crochet in the last 3, 6, 7 in 7 in green. Okay. So we still need to go onto that green yarn to hide it. So 1, 2, then normal, 3, 4, 5, 6, last one, 7. And there we go, then there's the end of that row, and I do believe that's the end of our blue. So then we want to finish up onto this row now. We've got 2 rows of just green, so we're going to do 2 rows of chain 1 turn, 1 half double crochet in each stitch across in green, 2 rows in green. So we just chain 1, turn, got a little bit of green to hide there. We can actually fasten off our blue to get it out of the way. So we've finished with our blue. Chain 1, turn, 1 half double crochet in that first stitch, and 1 half double crochet in each stitch across all the way to the end for 2 rows. We've still got a stitch count of 18. So 2, 3. And then when you get to that bit of green, we want to hide it. So put your hook under. Make sure go into the next stitch. Nope, I've gone for the gap, not the stitch. There we go. And it gets a bit easier on the next one. There it goes, magically disappears. Then just normal stitches. Well, they're all normal stitches, but we're not hiding anything, so to the end. And last one. Then the very last row, so now this end, very last row of just 1 half double crochet in each stitch across in green. So chain 1, turn, 1 half double crochet in that first stitch, and 1 half double crochet in each stitch across to the end in green. Okay, so just coming up to the last couple of stitches on this very last row. Should still have a stitch count of 18, and there we go. We're just going to cut our yarn and just pull the end through. Let's move this out of the way, and then all it's left to do is to hide in the few tail ends that you've got, and that's okay there because it matches in with the blue. But by hiding the tail ends as we go across in the next row rather than carrying it over, it just for some reason makes them hide a lot better. I don't know why. It worked okay on the road. Anyway, we've got some tail ends to tie in. You should have 4. So all you need to do is get your yarn needle, thread on your yarn needle, and just make sure that you sew through similar colours. So for the blue, it's going to sew through some stitches like that. Put it and then go back in the opposite direction to secure. And then just trim down the excess as close as you can and save your tail ends for stuffing. So there we go. So I'm going to do that for the rest of the tail ends and then I shall come back. So there we go. There is our finished pond, half pond square with all our tail ends tied in. And what we need to do is we're actually going to make 4 of these, but each pair, you make 2 the same, will join up to make a figure of 8 pond, something a bit more interesting. And now we're going to move on to the tree, and I think I may have to do a tree in a part 2 video because I think this video's been quite long. We'll see how we go. Okay, so let's move on to our little tree.